fuckhead from Empire City. Used to be in a band called Sore Eyes. It was a Memphis band, and yeah, that's what's up. And this guy, he plays piano for Peter Frampton.
I do play piano for Peter Frampton. I am Zach Myers. I was in a band called the Zach Myers Band. Exciting sounding. I was in a band called Farewell, and now I'm in a band called Shinedown.
That's true.
And I play piano for Peter Frampton.
Yes, you do. On side gig. And some really terrible bands. I'm not going to name any names in Knoxville. And then I was in a terrible band that Zach managed called Sore Eyes back in 2000.
You weren't terrible.
No, we weren't terrible. Yeah, we were terrible. No, I don't know. We'll just leave that one open for.
You're in the same band now.
It's not the same band.
That's a different name.
It's been resurrected.
Ours goes ding 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 ding.
Oh,
goes ding 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 ding.
Okay. Is that where we're going with this? Oh man, we have new people. Okay,
Yeah,
there's new people.
When did you get into the Memphis scene?
I got into Memphis scene in 2005, and oddly enough, I remember Egypt Central. Mm-hmm. So I was
there was still a scene in 2005.
Yeah, there was a scene. There was actually a scene in 2005.
That was the death rattle actually around that time.
Yeah, around that time, yeah. Of the glory days of it, yeah, that was the last kind of gasp, I believe.
Gas. That's such a great way to describe it. Like,
yeah, that was like the.
We're fucking done.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That was good times though, man. So, actually ran around with Heath when Heath was before he was in Egypt Central. I had no idea he could even play the fucking guitar. At all, like no idea. And then I kept hearing. I called him to be in a band in Knoxville with me. I was like, "Man, I heard you play guitar, bro. I'm starting a band." And like, he's like, "Cool. I play with Egypt Central." And I was like, "I don't know who the fuck that is, but all right, great." And then I like heard them on MySpace, and I was like, "Damn, they're pretty rad." And like
a photo from like right here.
Yes.
Mirror photo.
Oh yes, for sure, 100%.
I remember MySpace players.
Oh my god, yeah, you had to have the MySpace angles.
Yeah.
Definitely listen to music. And you could change all your graphics in your top 8, bro.
The top 8 got you in trouble though.
Top 8 got me in a lot of trouble.
You can get a lot of trouble with the top 8.
You like, top 8.
Oh, I'm not. And then remember they changed it. Like you could be top 24.
Oh yeah.
They changed it towards the last gasp of MySpace, which I guess it's still around, but
is it?
I think so. But you could like do like 24 or like 12. Or I remember like if you knock somebody out of your top 8, you get like a text on like not your iPhone, but whatever pre-iPhone.
I think it was Razor.
Yeah, like I didn't have a Razor.
Somebody T-I'd you.
Had a Sanyo 440, which was still to this day one of my favorite phones. And I remember getting text being like, "Oh, I'm out of your top 8 now." Like, oh my bad, dude. I didn't mean to do that.
I remember getting shit like fucking written on my car by chicks, like, meh. I was like, oh,
I didn't have a car. So
Yeah.
I was good.
No, I was definitely tormented by my top 8. So he introduced me to John, and then when I moved into Memphis, John actually he helped me find a bunch of people that were in my original band, and he was like, "If you don't go play with him, you're a fucking idiot." Da da da. You know, John will sell anything. And he sold the crap out of me, which is awesome. I appreciate it. It was cool. And yeah, that's where I got Jeremiah from. It was completely funny. And then we got started. We were rocking and rolling, and somehow Zach, you were at a show, and you came up and you're like, we started talking or whatever, and Zach was like, "Hey man, you want to play some shows?" And I was thinking like, like Throwback, like Farewell or something like that. And I was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." And he's like, "Okay." And then next thing I know, Geither is calling me.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Hey man, we got these Shinedown shows. Do you want them? You guys accept?" And I was like,
That was at the machine shop, right?
Yes. There was like 3 days. There was back to back at the machine shop, like 2
December,
nights. Yeah, it was like snow up to here. Mm-hmm. God, it was crazy. So I was like,
I met my wife the next day after those shows.
How funny is that?
Yeah.
I don't watch horror films at all.
That's a
Or
new
anything,
discovery for me. I
or
didn't know
any-
that.
I do
didn't know
not.
he doesn't
Yes,
do that.
I do not watch any horror films. Not never. Any chick that's like, hey, let's cuddle and watch a horror film. I'm like, ha ha ha, go home.
I know guys who are afraid of horror films.
I'm not afraid of them. I just don't like them. At
Why?
all. They're no. You want to know what it is? I think anybody that can create something that weird is like fucking demented, and
Probably.
they probably did some of the shit that was in the fucking film, and like it creeps me out. I'm like,
Right.
dude, you're fucking weird.
I don't think that's an invalid point.
That's why I don't watch them.
Right.
I'm just like, nope. I don't. It's literally about. No offense, Rob Zombie. It's literally about the fucked up person that creates it. The Pony was the one that we started recruiting sponsors.
Platinum was already kind of.
Platinum's gone.
Platinum's gone.
So
So
it was too young for Platinum.
yeah, well.
Well, hold on.
Hey, now it's more your job.
Hold on. He's not too young.
Hey, I am too young.
He's not too young.
Too young.
I started in Memphis in '96. So, I started playing guitar, and then I had a record deal about a year later. It was the only thing in my life that I picked up fast. Like I was mediocre at sports. I was mediocre at martial arts, which I did. I did go to the Junior Olympics, which was cool. Nice. Not a lot of people know that. The training for that was a nightmare. So that kind of got me good at that. And then the only thing that I ever picked up fast, like where I was like, wow, I feel like I'm good at this, was music. And so I started playing guitar, and then I met, I had a band called Leisure Highway, which was me and this guy Peter Vankenite and a guy named Lee Moody played bass.
Peter Vankenite.
Yeah, he's a red-haired kid.
Yeah, what did he play?
He played drums.
He came out
He's
and
still
auditioned
around.
for us. at
He's
one
still
point.
around. Yeah, I believe that. He's
Yeah.
still around. Very jazzy.
Yeah.
Jazz drummer.
Actually, he was really good.
He is a good drummer. And so I did that, and then I met Mo, and then I met Garrett. And it happened to be, Mo always tells the story better than me, but it happened to be that I was like on the cover of the Memphis Flyer or something the night I met Mo, and it was during the Crossroads Festival in Memphis down, just 20 years ago, 97. And I said, I saw him play, and he was in a band called The Trust, and I said, I'm gonna steal you, and you're gonna be in my band. And he was like, who the fuck are you, kid? And like I pointed down at the paper, and I was like on the cover of the paper. And it was like this divine intervention of me feeling like a badass. I was this big, and I looked like I got kicked out of Hanson. So it was like, so it was one of the that's what I looked like. So it was like, but then I found Garrett, and I remember Garrett Marshall was playing drums. It wasn't Neon Moon anymore. It was Masquerade is actually what it's called. Was it Masquerade?
Garrett.
Yeah.
With all the feathers.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Where Hungry Fisherman was, and it was Neon Moon. And I think it was called the Masquerade or something like that.
Remember Neon Moon?
Whatever was after Neon Moon, they would have a DJ, right? And they'd be playing music, and Garrett would play drums to the music. They had like a live drummer.
So
he was Travis Barker.
That was the first drummer versus DJ. Was actually
Yeah, it was actually Garrett and whatever, and DJ Numbnuts and whatever club that was. I remember they had an alligator in the club, like a small little cage, and they had like a crocodile, and I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And I saw Saliva play there actually before they got signed. I saw them play at that same place one
What were
time.
they? Blackbone.
No. Blackbone had a deal, but they were at Saliva. It was actually, Paul had just gotten in the band, so I had seen him a bunch with Todd. I'd grown up with him with Todd being in the band. And then Paul had just joined the band, and they were doing label showcases at the time. And they were playing that night, and I remember Wayne had like eaten like something really bad that night before, and he kept throwing up. That's a weird story, but yeah, so 96 is when I kind of started really being in the scene. In 97 is when we started getting kind of a name and touring and all that.
Was a coffee shop.
It couldn't be
Complex.
intense.
The Complex.
Yeah,
Complex was
that
dope,
was,
man. Complex was cool, and it always there were always kids there. I remember the first show we ever played there. Blake from Egypt Central, now singing for Devour the Day. He was playing drums for us because he was helping us work on our first.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Like he was helping me recording you guys.
Yeah, dude. And he had like super bleach blonde Eminem hair. And I remember we were at MRC, Memphis
Yeah.
Rehearsal Center, and they had that.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. now. You on the ground, baby. Which sucks. But they had a big cargo elevator in the back, and we had like all this super expensive gear, and it was all in the elevator,
Yeah.
and it got stuck like 5 foot or 6 foot below the top of the shaft.
Like in between floors.
Yes. And we were in there, and I was like, holy fuck, like, what are we gonna do? We like have to get to Load-In. I was like, and I'm definitely not leaving this shit in this fucking cargo
Not in
elevator.
that place, no.
Not a chance. So we literally ripped the grate off of the top of the elevator and made a chain. Somebody stood on top of the elevator, somebody stood at the top of the shaft, and we handed the gear up and out of the shaft, tore the elevator apart, and ended up walking all the gear down this
that little tight staircase.
narrow staircase. It was like this.
It's brutal.
God, it was horrible.
You know,
everybody
I will say
rehearsed
this.
there.
That's true. I remember Saliva rehearsed there forever.
Breaking Point rehearsed there.
They had the room 27.
Surrender of the Fall rehearsed there.
Yeah. Tons of people rehearsed
Egypt Central rehearsed there. There were a bunch
I
of
never
rappers
rehearsed
down there. You didn't rehearse
With
there.
Breaking Point, I did. When I played bass for Breaking Point for a little bit.
Did you really? I didn't know
Like
that.
5 shows. Yeah, I remember that place. I never rehearsed there. I'll say this about you. You were like, you guys never knew like the horrible gear struggle. You always had like nice gear. Like always had like road cases.
Yeah, we did.
Like, you guys didn't earn that shit. You just had it all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I had like an amp, like a little Blues DeVille that sucked, and like I would like that's what I had. Like you know what I mean? Like I didn't have terrible guitars. My dad took care of that. I had like we all had like beat up gear and stuff. Garrett always had.
We came rolling like
Yeah.
super nice
Yeah.
shit in, and we weren't the rich kids. Let's just say.
Yeah, they stole it all. I think.
It's none of your fucking business. We called at the time we called them sponsors. Okay.
Yeah.
They were sponsors.
They had
sponsors.
that Sore Eyes had more corporate sponsors, and by corporate I mean they worked at Platinum or like Gold Club. They were. I've never seen like. I don't know. Like I was like never got like, and I used to say that I was upset about it, but I'm not anymore because I'm married and have a kid. But I do. Part of me does regret the. I never got that like. I could have a stripper girlfriend. She takes care of. I've always like paid for everything in every relationship.
Yeah, not really. Like,
Yeah, no. This dude was like everything. Like he was like he had a Vegas Memphis lifestyle. Like, everything's comped because his girlfriends were all buying us.
He still does.
Yeah.
You know where I learned it from? Well, I learned it from Wheat and KG. They were like, Street Savvy. They're like, man, you're too pretty, man. I was like, okay. They're like, man, you got all these girls around, man. You should be doing like these rappers do, man. They pay for everything. And their light bulb just went off, like, boom. I was like, yeah. It's like some divine intervention, like you're saying.
I'm just gonna go to the Gold Club.
Actually, yeah. Gold Club actually was the Pony was the one that we started recruiting sponsors.
Platinum was already kind of.
Platinum's gone.
Platinum was gone. So it
We
was,
were too young for Platinum.
yeah, well.
Well, hold on.
Hey, now it's more than
Hold on. He's not too young.
Hey, I am too young.
He's not too young.
Too young.
He lived in 9. We'll say.